to YouTube and the COPPA laws, if you are under the age of 18 and are watching this video, please stop now. This content was not intended for you. Hey everybody, it's Tamika and I am back as requested with the tutorial for this Bash Your Stash project that I created. I'll have the link in the cards or in the description box. You guys can check out the original video and how it all came together. So I asked that if you guys wanted a tutorial that you show me by hitting the like button. And if you get over 100 likes, then I'll do the tutorial. So here I am. Thank you guys for your support and your interest. So it's really easy to put together. I'll be doing like the shell of everything, and then I promise that you'll get it after that. If you have any questions about anything, leave them down below in the description box. Nope, leave them down below in the comment section, and I will answer them for you at that time. So this is how, just one quick review of how everything looks coming together. We'll, like I said, put together the shell. We'll put together, these are just note tabs. We'll put together this little folio, really easy. And then we'll also put together, and I give you the measurements for this pocket and that album. And then finally, the one at the top, the waterfall. Really easy, guys. I'm pretty sure you will love this as much as I do. So we're going to go ahead and get started. In this mini album, I used, because I wanted it to be sturdy, I used 8.5 by 11 heavyweight 120-pound cardstock. I'll have that linked down below as well. I always have it down there in my description box. But you guys can use a 12 by 12. You can use whatever, you know, base color you want, or whatever base cardstock you want, and obviously whatever color you'd like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so these are the base pieces that we're going to be working with. So all of mine, again, are cut out in 110-pound weight cardstock in white. So you're going to need your base at 6 by 11, and you're going to score that at 8 on the 11-inch side. Okay. And then you're going to need your flanges. These are cut out at 6 by 1.5. You'll need 6 of them. You're going to turn them on the 1.5 inch side. You're going to score at 1/2 inch and 1 inch on all 6 pieces. You have your closure piece, which is 2 by 8. And then you have your pockets. Your lowest pocket is 3 by 6. Your middle and top pockets are both 4 by 6. So let me bring this out back so you can see what I'm talking about. This is your lowest pocket, your middle pocket, and your top pocket. So you can know, what you want to use for paper and things like that. And when I say closure, that's this piece here. And that is the 2 by 8. Of course, the flanges are on the sides. I left those in white. And then your base piece is what this is with the hangover edge there. So these are all your base pieces. So then for that bottom folio, that little pocket that I showed you guys, this one here, this is 4 by 10. And you score at 4 and 8. And that goes in your bottom pocket. Everything else was just note journaling cards. And then for the middle pocket, you have a piece that is 5.5 by 11, and you score that at 5.5. And then the other component to that is another piece of cardstock cut down to 4.5 by 5.5. And on the 4.5 inch side, you score at 1/2 inch. And then, of course, your tab, so that you can indicate for the recipient that someone needs to pull there for more funness. Okay, so that's that one. And then the pocket for the insert for the top is the waterfall. And these are cut down to 5.5 by 4. It gives you a little bit of, I'm sorry, there's different varieties, but they are cut down to 5.5 on the width. So you can be able to slide them out because it's going to be more photos in here. This is a thicker one. So I slimmed it down on the sides a little bit. It should be easier to go in and out. And this first one is 5.5 by 4. You're going to score it at 1/4 inch at the top for all three, the bottom three. This one is 5.5 by 4.5. You score at the 1/4 inch at the top. And then the third one is 5.5 by 5, and you score at a 1/4 inch at the top. And then this one is 5.5 by 5.5, and you don't score this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these together so I can show you how everything fits. So you have your measurements. You can mat your paper accordingly using your 6x6 paper pad. You can create yourself a border, 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch, totally up to you, but you have the bases done. I am going to do this with hot glue since I'm throwing this away. I don't want to waste my double-sided tape, but I would suggest you use double-sided tape for these items or some heavy, sturdy tape. Okay, so this is your base, the one that's 6.5 by 11. We are literally just going to fold that over and score it. That's going to stay like that. Okay, so keep your measurements in mind so you know that you want to mat a little piece here at the top. I'm just going to leave this here for a little bit of a reference point. I just matted a small little piece. I think it may be like 3 inches, just so that when people look in here, it doesn't go all the way down. Just so you can see it kind of ends right about there. Just so you can have a backing, or you could just mat the whole back sheet, but just know it increased bulks. So I just had it matted just at the top, just a little piece of cardstock. Okay, and then also you want to keep in mind how you're going to do your closure. So if you're going to do the closure like I did, you want to lay this down first and then mat your top area. This area here is 3, let me write this down for you. This is 3 by 6. All right, so if you want to mat your paper, you can, make it smaller, or you can make it 3 by 6, totally up to you. And then you can put your closure piece here. I hot glued mine because I know I was adding layers to the top, and then you can see where you want it. If you want to push it all the way up here, you can finish down here, or cut it just a little bit shorter. And then I use my little corner rounder. And then I, wanted it to go like that. I would suggest leaving it a little bit and just adding just a little bit of a roll so that when you put it on, you have space for the items that have to go underneath, because it's not going to be flat. You're going to need just a little bit of room for it to bow a little bit. So I left it at 2 by 8, just like that. I did round it into the very end, see what I needed for space. But if you're thinking of doing that, now is the time to do that. Go ahead and add your glue there. And then that's going to stay just like that. And then later, before you add your bottom pocket, add your magnet, or if you're not going to do a magnet and you're just going to do a Velcro, you can save that to the end. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my closure to the top, to the center. Just like that. Okay. And then you want to grab your flanges. Remember, you should have 6 of these. And then we're going to score those hill and valley. So one goes in and one goes out. Give them a nice little brush. And then we're going to add our top pocket. Now, this is where you want to just take a moment and see where you want everything to go. Top pocket, middle pocket, bottom pocket, kind of like that. You can make a little pencil mark, totally up to you. Just making sure that, see, the middle pocket and top pocket are overlapping a little bit. Okay. So you want to add your flange. Add it where this is on. Let's see, how did I do that? Because the reason why I keep getting stuck is I put one of my flanges on the wrong side, and I don't want that to happen to you. So you're going to lay, so you're going to look like an S when you do yours. So that's what that looks like. Add your paper here, just like that. And then I just added some glue. You want to add this flange to the edge, the bottom to the edge of that edge down there. Just like that. And then cut off the extra. Save this extra little bit. off to the side. Do the same thing for the others. Down, up, down. Secure it. Got your S going. So there, that's how we want that. We want it to go with the V, a V in on both sides. That's an easier way than say S because they're both S's. So the V is indented in on both sides. All right. And then cut off this extra. And then we have that. So they look like this. That's how they indent in. Okay. And then I'm going to add them to my base. Just going to do one at a time. So I would suggest you do. And then line that up where you want it. Kind of have mine here. Make sure that is right at that edge over there off to the side. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side. All right, and then I'm just going to give this a nice press. So that's your top pocket. And then we're going to add the middle pocket just like this. A little up. So I'm going to grab my other flange over here and do the same thing that I did to the top pocket. And for this one, I'm just going to reduce a little bulk. You could do it for all of them if you want by putting a little V mark in there. Just a little angle there. And then we're going to adhere this to the top pocket. It's going to go right on top. This is why you should use like a wet glue or double-sided tape so that you can move your items in case you mess up. All right, my pocket is wonky, but you guys get the drift. It's not straight. And then we have the lowest pocket, which is going to be down here. And for this one, I'm going to add this long flange. So you can do one of two things. To reduce bulk, I just literally added the tape down at the bottom. And that way my magnet was better to adhere. So if you're using Velcro, you don't have to worry about this. You can go ahead and add your the bottom, and then I used either you can use this one to reduce bulk. That's why I told you to keep these, which is what I did. I'll show you. I didn't want it to be super thick and chunky. So you see my flange only goes to here, but my pocket is deeper. So my stuff fits just fine. So my flange only goes here. That reduces, you know, the amount of bulk so that I can close it better. So you can just add the two flanges down here like I did. Add your little pocket without the bottom. And that's exactly what I did. I just literally did just like that, which is what I'm going to do now. But if you don't want to do that, you want you think you need a cleaner look or you want a more room down at the bottom, go ahead and take this last flange and do the same thing. Add it to the bottom down here, just like you would the sides. And then you can take your last flange and add, cut it in half. Or use your extras from your top two. And then add these both to the sides like that and add it normally. You'll have a thicker base, but that will totally work. But if not, and you do it the way that I did it, I just reduced it by just adding it here, adding my flanges here. Okay, so I hope that explains that to you. But what I wanted to also share with you, you see I didn't close these pockets. I didn't want them closed. I put my little flanges on here. Let's see, what did I do? Here they are. And I'm going to add this pocket to the bottom. I'm going to measure this out just a little bit. So this needs to just be cut right there. This is all I did. I just wanted to reduce the most amount of bulk because we need to still put our pictures in there. So we want to make sure that it's a slimmer profile, but we still can use it. So I'm going to put this right down here at the bottom. All right, so that's what we have down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at a little bit of an angle. just like that. I'm going to add my dab of hot glue to the bottom and place it down there. Just want to get that part done first. I don't want it to be messy. And then now you can squeeze these little fellas in there. It's best if you, like I said, if you're using double-sided tape, you go ahead, squeeze those in, peel those down. And you don't have to bend your paper or anything, but today we're using hot glue. All right. Remember, if you're using a magnet, put your magnet in before you lay this last piece down so that your magnet can stick here. Or if you're layering it, you can put your magnet down now and then magnet down here now and then layer the paper on top. That'd probably be the easiest and the best way, actually. I should have done it that way. That way you can get a better, it won't be so quick to release. So there you have it. You have your pockets here. And then that's that. So that pocket will be secure right in there. But like I said, if you want to go all the way up to the top, feel free. We have enough flanges to do that. And you would just do the same thing that we just did. And put that there, just like so. Okay, so for the bottom pocket, so that's our base. We're done with that. That's a 4x10, score at 4 and 8. We literally are just folding this over. Easy peasy. So this is 4x4, 4x4, 2x4. So you can match yourself accordingly. All right. And that just goes in there along with other little tickets and things that we had. For the second or the middle part, we have these pieces, 5.5 by 11, scored at 5.5. We're just going to fold that over. Just make sure that fits in here. And that's where it stops at. If you want to cut it shorter, you can. If you wanted to let it go longer, you can. Actually, I think I am going to cut this a little bit shorter. I think I ended up cutting it shorter in my book too. So I'm just going to cut it down to 5. So now we have 5x10 scored at 5.5 or scored at 5. That way it could peek out a little bit. See how cute that is. Peek out from the pocket. Okay, and then we're going to cut this down a little bit as well. So this is going to be by 5. I forgot that I changed that at the last minute when I wrote down my things. So 4.5 by 5. Simple change. And we're still going to score at the 1/2 inch on the 4.5 inch side. And then this is going to attach just like so, because we got a little pocket there. So I'm going to add a little glue. And then you can just put that wherever you want that to go. Give it a press. Easy enough. And then what I did with my tab punch, totally optional, is before laying down, I did this with my base. Before laying down my base paper back here, I just added my tab punch. So I secured it to itself first. You can do this with anything in shape, a circle, or whatever. And then I added glue to the bottom half, just enough for it to stick out. And then I added it where I wanted it to go, because I have another one for the waterfall that's going to go a little higher. So that's that. So now your papers are 4 by 5 because we used the 1/2 inch on this side, so we don't need that. So now you can, mat accordingly because that's 4 by 5, and these are 5 by 5. So nice space for your photos. Okay, and then for the top one, we have our waterfall, and I just want to go ahead and fold over the bottom 3, which are the only 3 that are scored at a 1/4 inch. The top one is the same, but what I did with the top one is I went ahead and marked the 1/2 inch or the 1/4 inch with like a pencil or something, just so I can know where to start the next one. Oops, my finger was in the way. So I can know where to start the bottom row, because these all waterfall and they all, you know, match and end really nicely if you do it that way. So I'm going to add to the original one. I added, of course, really thin 1/8 inch double-sided tape, but I'm just going to take mine to this line that I would have drawn to let me know where to mark it at, and add that on there. Make sure that flips up, because that's how people are going to view the pictures without any resistance. And then you're going to take the next one, add adhesive to the back, and you're going to add it right up until butted up against that score line, not on it, just against it. Okay, and then we're going to do the last one. We put that up against there. All right, see how nice and neat that is? Nice little waterfall. And then I just took 1/4 inch strips I had left over and put them on top to give them some color, but feel free to mat all this. I wanted to save that for photos and not a mat and then a photo. It's wasting paper. So yeah, then now this just folds up really nicely like that. And then I used, again, another tab punch and then glued it on itself. That way it doesn't interfere with the folding of any of the other pieces. All right, so that's how that is. And then you want to adhere that right down again with Velcro or your magnet or whatever. You could do a string closure. Just close to your heart's content. And that's the end of the tutorial, guys. I hope that you liked what I created. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section, and I will get to them as I can. As always, if you guys like this video, please be sure to hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps my channel out. And leave a comment and let me know what you guys think. All right, talk to you later. Bye.